So I mentioned on a previous video that one thing I wanted to learn more about with regards to Germany was the German language itself. And me being from the UK, the German language is one I have a long time connection with, because when I went to high school there was only two languages you could learn, French and German, and we learned both. Everybody, it's mandatory to learn both of them for the first 2 years of high school. I enjoyed both of those languages, especially German, because German is just like, unlike a lot of other languages where there's words that are very unique to the German language, and it was always one I enjoyed, but obviously after leaving high school I never learned it, and I think I can still probably remember quite a few words, but not many. But interested to find out more about the language itself, and I've got this video here. It's called Why Germans Can Say Things No One Else Can. That's an interesting title for a video again. Let's check it out.
We're hugely dependent on language to help us express what we really think and feel. But some languages are better than others at crisply naming important feelings. Germans have been geniuses at inventing long, or what get called compound words, that elegantly put a finger on sensations that we all know, but that other languages require whole clumsy sentences or paragraphs to express.
That is one thing I've actually heard about German before. I've seen that they actually bring these compound words. I live in Malaysia and I learned Malay. I can speak it relatively fluent, I would say. They have a similar concept where they bring words together to make these compound words, and I think it just, maybe it makes the language easier. Definitely can make it more descriptive. Tell me what you think about that. But this one, distance and pain, the distress of always being in familiar surroundings and longing to go far away. Okay, interesting, yeah.
So here is a small selection of the best of Germany's extraordinary range.
Okay, this should be good.
Compound words.
Looking forward to
Erklärungsnot.
let's see this.
Of compound words. Erklärungsnot.
Erklärungsnot, explanation in distress. Erklärungsnot. Okay, so we've got the two words. You can see how it's broken up there into those compounds.
Literally a distress at not having an explanation. The perfect way to define what a partner might feel when they're caught watching porn or are spotted in a restaurant with a hand they shouldn't be holding.
Wait a minute, that took me by surprise there. Yeah, I think I'm actually getting explanation distress Erklärungsnot now, but that totally threw me. When you get caught watching porn, yes, when you have that distress where you're trying to come up with some sort of reason why you're doing something you shouldn't be. That's a great word. That's a great start. I like how that explanation distress, not being able to come up with the words, which I think when I'm making these type of videos can also be quite a bad thing when I'm trying to make reactions and give opinions and things like that.
More grandly, Erklärungsnot is something we feel when we realise we don't have any explanations for the big questions of life. It's a word that defines existential angst as much as shame.
So it can have a deeper meaning as well, like a much more important one, man. So can use it when you get caught watching porn, and also when you don't have the meaning of life.
Futterneid.
Futterneid, food envy. So envy is neid, Futter is food. So I guess like some words in German are quite similar to English as well. These are the sort of words when I'm learning Malay, I really like those type of words because I can really draw back to them quite quickly. So Futterneid.
The feeling when you're eating with other people and realise that they've ordered something better off the menu that you'd be dying to eat yourself. Perhaps you were trying to be abstemious. Now you're just starving. The word recognises that we spend much of our lives feeling we've ordered the wrong thing.
Okay, man, as soon as I hear this is my wife. I am not like, I don't really get food envy actually. Never, because when I go to a restaurant, I know what I like. I try to be quite safe in a way. I love all types of food from anywhere, whatever, but I always like to eat what I enjoy eating, what I know. I do try a lot of new things as well, but I'll try and pick things that are like suitable for what my tastes are. But my wife loves to try something new every time. So she'll try something and she'll be like, I don't know if I like this, and she'll see me, oh yeah, I want some of that. She'll always be envious of my food choices, definitely. She got Futterneid.
And not just in restaurants. Luftschloss.
Luftschloss. See, air castle.
the wrong thing, and not just in restaurants. Luftschloss.
Luftschloss. So Luft. So air is Luft, yeah, like Lufthansa. What is Anza then? So in castle is Schloss. That's a very interesting word actually. Schloss.
Literally a castle in the air, a dream that's unattainable. A word suggesting that German culture is deeply indulgent about big dreams, but also gently realistic about how hard it can be to bring them off.
Let me hear that again.
Realistic about how hard it can be to bring them off.
So that just shows also, not only is that an interesting piece of language, but also can delve a bit deeper into the German mindset and the German personality. Luftschloss, air castle, it's like, that is actually quite a magical word. I really like that term about these unachievable or potentially unachievable dreams, and it's a castle in the air. Nice.
Backpfeifengesicht.
Backpfeifing Gesicht. Slapping face.
A face that's begging to be slapped. Generosity towards others is key, but German is bracing and frank enough to acknowledge that there are also moments when it's simply more honest to realise we may have come face to face with a dickhead.
Do I have a backpfeifing backpfeifing gish? This one is difficult for me. Backpfeifing shish. Do I have that? Do you know anybody that has that? With these terms, do you use them commonly? Have you used all these words before? I can see myself using this word quite commonly. I know I've seen a lot of faces like this before. Yeah, you usually just say like, oh, they've got a very slappable or punchable face is the more violent term that we use in Scotland anyway. Backpfeifing guys.
Runenlust.
Running Lust. Also, Lust in German is excitement. Okay.
This word shows German at its most delightfully fetishistic and particular, meaning the delight one can feel at seeing ruins. Collapsed palaces and the rubble of temples put anxieties about the present into perspective and induce a pleasing melancholy at the passage of all things.
That's actually nice. Kummerspeck.
Literally sorrow fat. A word that frankly recognises how often, when one is deeply sad, there is simply nothing more consoling to do than to head for the kitchen and eat.
I guess that's like comfort eating. Kummerspeck. Sorrow fat. Fremdschämen. External shame.
A word full of empathy that captures the agony one can feel at somebody else's embarrassing misfortune or failure. A capacity to feel Fremdschämen is a high moral achievement and is at the root of kindness.
I do feel that as well, man. That one I definitely have felt before. Fremdschämen.
Weltschmerz.
Weltschmerz.
Literally world sadness. A word that acknowledges that we are sometimes sad not about this or that thing, but about the whole basis of existence. The presence of the word indicates a culture that isn't falsely cheerful, but takes tragedy as a given. It is immensely reassuring to be able to tell a friend that one is presently lying under the duvet, suffering from Weltschmerz.
A lot of these words are quite dark and can show the not depressing side of life, but they've got like negative connotations as well. But it's nice to have these concise words to describe these deep emotions. I guess you can say they're very deep emotions. So again, I'm very interested to see if people use these quite commonly, how often you use them, how important are they to the German language.
Schadenfreude.
I've heard Schadenfreude
We're meant
before.
to be sad when others fail, but German more wisely accepts that we often feel happiness, Freude, at the misfortunes, the
Freude,
Schaden
yes.
of others. That isn't because we're mean. We just feel deeply reassured when we see confirmation that life is as hard for other people as it is for us.
I think that if anybody is saying they've never felt that before, they will be lying. There's always a time that maybe you're feeling down, maybe you're not happy with life, or whatever happens, you'll see something bad happening to someone and you feel a little tinge of happiness. It can even be things like these prank shows and stuff. You see people hurting themselves and you maybe take some sort of like happiness from that. Schadenfreude is like a commonly used word in English or in British, in Britain as well.
We can thank German for having so many of the right words to bring dignity to our troubles and hopes. learning languages ultimately has little to do with discovering the world per se. It's about acquiring tools to help us get a clearer grasp on the elusive parts of ourselves.
I love that. German is a very interesting language, and that actually just hits home even more. It's like, because these words actually are important. That's the thing. It's not just words just for any reason. These all have deep meanings, and it's things you wouldn't really think of. These things that can't be explained in the English language have these defined words in German as well. For me, that makes it very interesting. Tell me if there's any other words on there that are interesting for me to learn as a non-German speaker, and tell me what you think about these ones that were on there. Are they commonly used? Do you use them? Tell me in the comments. Thanks.